friends, welcome back to my channel. My name is Chelsea. Today we are going to be doing the much requested deep dive into the multi-level marketing company YoungLiving and their CEO Gary Young. Now usually with these deep dive videos we don't go into too much depth or really even talk about their CEOs or the people who are at the decision-making level. However, I feel like I would be doing the viewers a huge disservice by not talking about Gary Young. I think it is important to understand where the business came from and who started it, especially because of his history. Now, before we get started, if you are new here, please do subscribe and leave in the comments below that you're new, introduce yourself. I love that, just so I can aggressively welcome you. And then also, feel free to follow me on all of my social media. I am at CCSUAREZ on all social media, Twitter, Instagram, Reddit. I love Reddit. Probably a little bit too much, but I am very active on Instagram, love DMing with y'all, love talking to you, so follow me on there too. All of my sources will be linked down below in the description box, along with my Anti-Mlm playlist that I put together. If you like deep dives like this, if you like educational videos, definitely binge watch that. And then also a lot of my favorite content creators, podcasts, articles, just everything Anti-Mlm related will be linked down below too. Now I know it sounds silly to even have to do a disclaimer at the beginning of one of these videos. However, I want to make it clear, I do not think that anyone who is involved in an MLM is a bad person. I do believe that they are a product of a business that is structured to make them fail. And also I do believe that they have been manipulated into joining it, staying in it, and defending it. One of our mottos here on this channel is to don't hate, educate, along with remain humble but let these bitches know. But I don't believe that we will be changing anyone's minds or helping dismantle the triangle, as I say, but help, change people's minds about multi-level marketing companies and the harm that they can do by attacking and being rude and things like that. So it's better to educate, be kind, be compassionate, but just show straight facts. All right, enough rambling, enough disclaimers. I'm sure people are still gonna have a problem with this video, but oh well. Let's go ahead and fall down the crazy and at times unbelievable rabbit hole that is YoungLiving and their founder, Gary Young. Now, Gary Young was born in 1949. He was the second oldest of 6 children, and he was born into a Mormon family. Now, at the age of 24, he claims that he was in a nearly fatal logging accident, and apparently that left him in a wheelchair, and he couldn't walk. He was like half paralyzed, but some things I was reading said that he wasn't. It was very confusing. And apparently he was stuck in a wheelchair for an unspecified amount of time. Some things I read said 1 year, 2 years, 3 years, so on and so forth. So he was unable to walk and confined to a wheelchair. Now, it's during this time that Gary claims that he started to experiment with essential oils. And he also says that during this time, while he was stuck at home, he completed a home course study of nutrition and herbology. Now, from 1979 to 1981, Gary enrolled and then left multiple unaccredited institutions or schools, courses, things like that. Now, the first one was the Burroughs VitaFlex Institution, and that was a school that was based on the teachings of Stanley Burroughs. Stanley Burroughs was a author and the creator of the Master Cleanse. Now, the Master Cleanse was this detox diet where you don't eat any food and you can only drink water and lemonade, and with cayenne pepper and maple syrup. And Stanley was claiming that this detox diet would tone and cleanse the body so that it could heal itself. Of course, there's no evidence of that, and the only thing that these types of diets actually do is make you lose weight. Not much, but they make you lose weight, and then you usually gain it all back and more pretty quickly. And now keep in mind, like I said, all of these institutions were unaccredited. Now, when something is unaccredited, it means that it is not meeting the legal standards, state and federal, to actually be an institution. Now, when you have a certificate of completion, diploma, license, anything like that from a unaccredited institution, school, course, whatever, it's useless. It doesn't mean anything. Now, the second institution that he enrolled in was the Donsbach Nutrition University. Now, that was run by Kurt Donsbach. I'm sure I'm probably butchering his last name, but oh well. And Kurt Donsbach was a pretty sketchy character himself. He was an unlicensed chiropractor who was running this university, and he had actually been convicted twice for practicing medicine without a license. He also faced charges of misbranding drugs, unlawfully dispensing drugs as a cure for cancer, falsely presenting a cure for cancer, and then also tax evasion. So just a stand-up guy. So as you can see already, the people that Gary Young is learning from aren't really the best role models or teachers in general. So in 1980, Gary enrolled in a therapeutic massage program at yet another unaccredited university, and he left there after only attending a few classes. He did about a third of the assignments, and then he actually owed them quite a bit left for his tuition as well. Now, Young claims that he received a doctorate degree in naturopathy. I'm sure I'm pronouncing that wrong too. Oh well, I'm not a doctor. Just like Gary Young isn't. And that was in 1985. He says that he got that doctorate degree from Bernardine University. Now that school, again, is unaccredited, and it's actually known as a mail order diploma mill. I don't want to say it's a scam, but it's not legitimate. Now there's no evidence that Gary Young has ever actually received any formal education or medical training at all. However, he was still presenting himself and promoting himself as a medical professional, and he actually goes on to practice medicine. Who needs a medical license, I guess? Now that we've discussed education or lack thereof, let's go ahead and get into his criminal activity. Now, in 1982, Young opened a clinic in Spokane, Washington, and he actually offered unlicensed medical services, which I'm sure those people probably didn't know that he was not licensed. He offered to perform childbirth as well. After an undercover investigation, Young was actually arrested for offering to deliver a baby and then also screen someone with just a blood sample for cancer. He was also saying that he could treat cancer as well. He pled guilty. He was only given a 60-day sentence. He was put on probation for a year, and then he was also fined $250. Does it seem like enough? Of course not. Now, earlier that year, which this is why I'm thinking that this undercover investigation happened. Earlier that year, Gary Young was actually performing a water birth. Now, there's different accounts where one says that it was at his home in a hot tub, and then another one says that it was at the Golden Six Health World, which was the health club that he owned. A health club sounds like a gym, but it was a clinic. Now, during this water birth, Gary instructed for the infant, the newborn, to be left under the water because he was of the belief that the newborn would be able to get its oxygen supply through the umbilical cord, which had not been cut yet. The newborn baby was left underwater for almost an hour, and unfortunately she died. According to the county coroner, there was no other reason for the baby to die. She was perfectly healthy, and there were no pre-existing conditions at all. She was left underwater for almost an hour and she drowned. Although the death certificate, which the medical professional, in this case is Gary, although he is not a medical professional, but in this situation he is, usually the medical professional is filling out that information. So then he put cause of death as cardiac arrest. The county coroner obviously said that there was not that, and that the cause of death was drowning. Now that entire situation is horrible. One thing that makes it extra horrible is that newborn baby girl was Gary Young's daughter. And obviously the mother was his wife. Awful. I know. An awful situation for everyone involved. And when I was telling my husband about this, he was like, how was he not arrested? Now, authorities ruled that the death was accidental. And I feel like that makes it even worse. I'm trying not to put like all of my opinions in this part of the video. Now, in 1986, Gary was promoting himself as a naturopathic doctor. I'm sure again that I butchered that word. And he was operating a clinic that he started called Rosarita Beach Clinic in Tijuana, Mexico. Nothing like fleeing the country so that you can still practice medicine, right? And at this clinic, he provided detoxification treatment plans for cancer and lupus. You heard that right. Now, just a fun side note here, but the sketchiness of these treatment plans actually prompted a investigative journalist from the LA Times, his name is John Hurst, to write a piece about this and to contact the clinic. Now, they sent him a prospective patient kit, which included needles, little glass slides. If you've ever seen the movie Dexter, it's like those little glass slides that he puts blood of the victims in. And it gave him instructions as well. And then it told him to send it back with $60 so that they can do diagnostic testing. Now, shortly after that, a health educator, sounds like something someone in an MLM would call themselves, a health educator contacted him and let him know that after a blood crystallization test, that it turns out that he has an aggressive type of cancer and that it's been in his body for about 4 to 5 years. And then she also said that there were liver problems as well. Now, the thing is that the blood that John sent was not his blood. It was not even human blood. It was a blood sample from the veterinary office that he goes to, and it was cat blood from a very, very, very healthy, cancer-free and liver problem-free cat. Now, just so that he would have something else to compare it to, he asked for her to do another blood crystallization test, which is she basically just looked at it underneath a microscope. And so he sent his blood again. This time he did send his own blood. Now she came back and said, okay, well, it's not aggressive cancer, but it's still cancer. There are still liver problems, and then there are also pancreas and thyroid issues now too. So she sent him a report of what they are suggesting, their treatment plan, and it was $2,000 a week for an in-house, like at the actual clinic, for that treatment. And it was basically a bunch of colonics and essential oils, and then taking a bunch of different vitamins and random medications that really there's no scientific proof that they're even effective. Now, he had another person, a completely other person posing as another prospective patient, send in blood as well. This time they sent in chicken blood. And the reason why they did that is because chicken blood, the blood cells are actually a completely different shape than human blood. So if someone who is a medical professional and is actually doing tests on blood every day, they should be able to notice under a microscope, this isn't human blood. Now that patient was told that they had inflammation in the liver, a possible pre-lymphomic condition. That's not a word, but that's what they put in there. And then also a weakened immune process due to a high level of upset in that patient's life. I've had a high level of upset. Now, the treatment plan that that patient was given was the exact same word for word as what John had received for his cat blood and his own blood as well. So that clinic, clearly a scam, right? Now, Young had also opened multiple health clinics in California and in Utah. All of them ordered to be shut down, either because of, surprise, surprise, practicing medicine without a license, misdiagnosing patients, claiming to have a cure for cancer, treating diseases with supplements and vitamins and essential oils, and then also hiring medical professionals whose medical licenses had been revoked due to a manslaughter conviction because that doctor had actually been mistreating a cancer patient, and due to that, the patient died. In 2005, his clinic in Springville, Utah, was forced to close down after they had to settle a lawsuit with a previous patient who had claimed that they had been infused with vitamin C. So basically they had an IV bag and were doing infusions of vitamin C as part of their treatment plan. And they had done that so many times that it caused near fatal kidney damage. So then he closed that clinic and just stopped and never mistreated anyone ever again and never posed as a medical professional again. I wish. No, he kept going, and he then went down to Ecuador and started the Nova Vida Medical Clinic down in Ecuador. And that is actually where one of the Young Living farms is, and like where one of their like headquarters is. To this day, that place is still open and people are still going down there to get essential oil infusions, meaning they are having essential oils, pure essential oils, put directly into their veins, which I don't know how any of those people are still alive because that is deadly. In 1993, Gary and his wife, Mary, founded Young Living Essential Oils. In 2014, while Gary was still the CEO, Gary and the company and distributors themselves were served with warnings by the FDA because they had all been illegally marketing essential oils that are unapproved by the FDA as treatments or cures for the Ebola virus. Now, in 2014, in the US, we did have 2014, 2016, we did have an Ebola outbreak. In 2015, he stepped down as CEO, and his wife Mary took over that role. And then in 2018, Gary died. That's it. Now, you might be thinking, how can these distributors of Young Living either be okay with or ignore all of these crazy allegations in the past of this man and of this company, especially when there's just so much evidence? And unfortunately, the answer is that they have been told by Gary himself and his wife that all of these things are fake, doctored, made up, and just completely false. And that's horrible to even tell people that and to even believe that. And if you don't believe me, just take a look at this clip from NATALIA Taylor's series that she did on Young Living, where she actually was able to get an interview with one of the top distributors in Young Living.
Living and the controversy that surrounds him.
There's a lot of questions that I had about was he ever arrested? Why do some people call him doctor? Why did he move and start a clinic in Mexico instead of in the U.S. and just things that felt weird. And I am a person that wants to make sure that I don't get behind something unless I feel like I can confidently defend that.
No matter how this YouTube video is going to turn out, I know that you're confident enough to be here, and I appreciate that, and I really hope you know how much I appreciate your perspective. There's a lot of allegations.
Yes.
There's tons of articles from Spokane, Washington. Share with us how it is that someone is able to stand with a company that has so many negative allegations and conspiracies.
For me, I think that it's important to go to the source. I think there's always two sides to every story. When I'm reading any journalistic piece, whether it's listening to it or reading it online or in the New York Times or wherever, is what's the author, what's the standpoint, what bias are they coming to this, and what purpose is this article written, for what purpose? And then my question is why? Why Gary? Why would people care? Like, this is just a farmer from Utah. Like, why do they care what his company does?
Now, that series of NATALIA Taylor will be linked down below as well. Now, don't get me wrong, I am definitely of the mindset that you need to be skeptical about everything that you hear or read or see on the internet or on social media in general. Definitely do your own research. However, that's a lie, or they're just haters, or this is fake, that argument does not hold up when there is overwhelming amounts of documents, publications, interviews, even statistics from the Young Living website itself, documentaries, like past employees coming out as well, past distributors too, and just decades and decades of continued behavior and criminal activity, fraud, and lies. Okay, so now we're done talking about him. So just like I do with all of my deep dives, we're gonna go ahead and go over the products, the earning potential and income disclosure statement. And yes, I altered it a little bit for you. And then also I want to discuss the crazy health claims and how dangerous that is. Now, when you go to the Young Living website, you'll see that Young Living sells wellness products, primarily essential oils, including but not limited to single essential oils, blends, which obviously is like one or two mixed together for certain things, the roll-on travel oils, dietary oils, massage oils, and then there's also, they say 12 brands, but it's not really a brand, it's just a product line under the Young Living umbrella. And that is Thieves, which is household cleaning products and oral health products. And then Savvy Minerals, that's clean beauty products. And then there's Slick, which is weight management and weight loss. Ningxai Red, which is a daily supplement for, the way they word it is very strange, but basically just to make you live longer or something like that. I watched a whole video on him explaining it, and it just was ridiculous. Seedlings, which is baby products. Kids Sense, obviously for kids, bath and body products. Animal Sense, that's pet products. Do not put any essential oils around your fur children ever. They can die, just like you can. And then there's Einkorn, which is just flour, and I don't know if I'm pronouncing that right. I also don't care. And then there's Shutron, that's men's bath and body products. Art is skincare. Mira is luxurious shave oil and hair oil and cleansing oil. And then the good old Young Living gear, which is merch, diffusers, household accessories, just accessories in general, clothing, planners, stickers, basically another way for them to take people's money. Now, just like with every single MLM out there, the products are ridiculously overpriced. And I'm going to go a lot further into that in one of my next deep dive videos, which is actually going to be just a huge overview of multi-level marketing companies in general, more of like the structure of it, since all of them are basically the same. Okay, so I'm going to go over that in my next deep dive. So be sure to look out for that. It's very, very interesting. I already have the script ready for it, but it would be way too long if I got further into that. So as I said, the products MLM-wide are ridiculously overpriced, and that is because they have to overcompensate for the fact that they not only have to pay a commission to the person who sold the product, but then also they have to pay a commission to the upline of that person who sold that product. So let's go ahead and look at the peppermint oil. Now, that peppermint oil, the retail price is $30.26. If you're a distributor, you get it for $23. Not that much of a discount. But also, we could just go to Target, and their peppermint oil from the brand Everspring is $7.99. It's like a fourth of the cost, and it's the same exact size, 0.5 fluid ounces, and they have the exact same ingredients. Let me make this very clear. There is absolutely no difference at all. And I have a lot of people who tell me, oh, well, I only buy from them because I like their oils. Why? What's the difference? There is none. I get all of my essential oils from Target, TJ Maxx, Home Goods, and Marshalls. They're super cheap. I usually get like a little pack of a bunch of them, and I have them go on my diffuser, and that's it. Super cheap. Now let's get on to the income claims and the earning potential. Just like with every other MLM, reading their commission plan can give you such a migraine. Like, it made my eyeballs hurt. But the good thing is don't worry, I'm gonna tell you everything you need to know. So when asking the question, can I make money with insert MLM name here? You'll usually be told, oh my gosh, there's so many different ways to make money with us. There's the I just sold this bonus. There's the I have a team of 47 bonus. There's the I didn't die after ingesting essential oils bonus. There's the I manipulated my entire family to join under me bonus. There's not a million ways to make money with the business. There's two. There's selling the product and recruiting. Do you get a commission when you sell the product? Yes. Do you get a commission when you recruit someone? Yes. That's it. Are you going to get a certain commission maybe if you rank up? Sure, you'll maybe get a bonus for that, but in order to do that, you have to sell and recruit. So let's go ahead and take a look at the numbers, since we all know that numbers and math, when reported correctly, don't lie. So as we can see here, the 2019 Young Living Income Disclosure Statement, it says at the top here that there were over 3 million active members in 2019, which is terrifying. And then at the bottom, we can see that, again, it says these statistics are only counting the active distributors who made a purchase within 2019. So this document does not include the people who didn't make any money. So this document does not include the people who did not make a purchase or any sales or didn't recruit anyone. And the thing is that if you don't make a purchase, not a sale, if you don't make a purchase during a calendar year, you're kicked out, which is crazy. The average income for all members, inactive and active, in 2019 was $236. Now, that's not daily, that's not monthly, that's not quarterly, that's not weekly, that's annually. If you think about it, those people probably didn't even make their money back because they most likely spent more than that in products. Now, 55% of the people who signed up in 2018 were considered inactive by 2019. And 66% of the people who signed up in 2017 were considered inactive in 2019. That is a huge and frankly alarming turnover rate. So half of the people that you're going to sign up are going to quit. Now, these income disclosure statements are very, very misleading. Usually, like I've done in my other deep dives, I would go ahead and figure out how many inactive ones there were or how many total there were for 2019 to be able to kind of do my math and figure out how many total, how many inactive, how many active, and then actually finagle the numbers and do some math and get realistic numbers. I couldn't find that information anywhere, and I didn't want to give you misinformation. However, I did adjust the income disclosure statement and made it, 1, easier to read, and then 2, I added in how many distributors are at each rank, because it can be very misleading when you see just a percentage. So as you can see right here, there are over 2.6 million people at the very bottom rank. About 96.9% aren't making a profit, and roughly 99% are making less than what is considered a livable wage in the US. That's horrible. But you want to know what's even more horrible? The health claims they make. Now, usually the most disturbing and dangerous aspect of a multi-level marketing company is the financial claims and the financial losses. However, when it comes to multi-level marketing companies that are wellness brands, the health claims that they make can be even more destructive.
Times. I mean, if they had a cold or something, I didn't give them Tylenol. I always tried to use oil. I was like a shameless ambulance chaser. You know, if anybody had any kind of problem, if they said it on Facebook, oh, you know, my son's not sleeping, I'm like, okay, I'm on it. I got what you need. I felt like I had the answer to every problem because there was an oil that would answer every problem.
I was told that I could take one particular oil blend and substitute it for the medication I was on for my PTSD. I gave Brian some lavender and peppermint in a capsule for heartburn, and it wound up hurting him more.
Essential oils can help foster a calming environment, much like classical music, but they're not medicines.
Now, pandemics and recessions are a cesspool for MLMs in general. Now, but especially wellness MLMs. And the wellness MLMs during 2020 are just thriving because what are we going through? A pandemic and a recession, especially in the US. Now, Young Living distributors have made claims such as that their Thieves products can be used to disinfect meat, and then also that Thieves oil was used to fight the Black Plague. There have also been accounts of people saying that these oils can fight off COVID-19 and other serious ailments as well. Now keep in mind, not only are Young Living products not FDA approved, but no essential oils at all, okay? They are not approved to fight, treat, or prevent any type of medical illness, issue, condition at all. Oof, getting a little bit sweaty in here because my ring light's real hot. So both company and distributors have been under fire in recent years because they have been promoting that you can ingest essential oils, that you can cook with them, that you can put them on your food, and that you can drink them, and things like that. Ingesting essential oils is extremely dangerous. You should not do it. Even if you dilute it, you should not do it. Now, Young Living actually came out in the past few years with their Vitality line, which they say on their website that you can cook with, use to make drinks. They even have tutorials on how to make food with it, how to make everything with it basically that you can ingest, or they even say that you can put it in a capsule and take it. Now the problem is that when you go onto the website and look at the ingredients, they're the exact same. The normal essential oils and then the Vitality line. So I was thinking, what the hell's the difference? So I went onto the Young Living website and went onto their live chat feature and asked them, can you ingest any of your products? And the girl came back on and said, yes, our Vitality line. And then a few days later, you know, I was looking around doing more research, and I had noticed that on one of Natalia Taylor's videos, and I saw it a few other places as well, that someone had commented on one of the Young Living making a drink with essential oils tutorial videos that they did. In the comment section of that, someone commented and asked, can I ingest these oils? If so, how much? And the official Young Living YouTube account, and they responded back basically saying that they, at this time, suggest to only use them for external use and not to ingest them. So I was very confused because I, of course, am under the impression that you shouldn't, but yet they have a Vitality line and they have tutorials on how to cook with them and ingest them, but then they say that you can't. And again, None of it is FDA approved, and you should not ingest it. So then I thought, I'm gonna go back on the website, go to the little chat feature again, and ask them. It's straight from the horse's mouth. And this is what they said. What is the difference between the Vitality line and the regular essential oils? Since I know that, we can't ingest them and it is not FDA approved. And that representative responded saying, there is no difference. It is the same ingredients. It is the same strength, and the distilling process is exactly the same. The only thing that is different is the label. So if we can't ingest one of them, and it's very dangerous to ingest one of them, and it's the same exact ingredients, just a different label, why would it be okay for me to ingest that one? That's like relabeling bleach and saying it's okay to then drink it just because it has a Pepsi label on it. That's not okay. So if you are watching this video because you are thinking about joining Young Living, or because you want to look further into using these products as part of a treatment plan for some type of ailment that you have, please don't. Please consult with a medical professional. Also, if someone is trying to get you to sign up for Young Living and be part of their oily fam, that's gross. Don't do it. Please do not do it. You are not going to make money. You are not going to be able to sell any of these products because no one wants them. You are the customer if you are in an MLM. And there is no proof or medical evidence at all that essential oils can treat, prevent, or cure any type of diseases or actually do anything. So that is it for this video, guys. I really hope you enjoyed. I know I did. Please subscribe. Again, all of the sources and everything is down below. I'm hoping I'm going to be able to edit this down into less than a 30 or 40 minute video. I asked y'all on my community page, or a community tab on my YouTube channel, and asked if you wanted one long video or two shorter videos, and y'all said one long video, so that's what you're getting. So hopefully you made it to the end. So please subscribe, comment down below, all of the things. If you have any suggestions, if you want me to do a deep dive on a different type of MLM, or just an idea for a video, or want me to cover something different, just let me know. I'm open to suggestions. And as always, please educate, don't hate, remain humble, and let these bitches know I am sweating so bad right now. I need to get out of this room. So that's it, and I will see you in my next video. Bye!